what I'm going to show you now is a great start to get yourself warmed up for the day, or to make sure that your voice is prepared to be able to speak efficiently. It's a really good idea to do this daily, even if you're not going to be using your voice so much. But generally we find that in our everyday lives we do tend to use our voices, and even if we're just working in an office, speaking on the phone. It's not only about your speaking, it's also about having the space within your body to feel comfortable and relaxed in order to allow the voice to be free. So any actors, dancers or singers out there might know these exercises, but for those of you who are new, just remember to never push yourself, never go too far, and if something hurts or feels uncomfortable, it's probably best to take your time. The most important part of these exercises is that you adopt good breathing control. Now, I have another video on breathing control, but what I'm going to do is quickly run through some of the principles of that. I want you to take full, slow, long, full, deep breaths. And as you breathe in, I want you to try and encourage the air to find a place in the sacrum, which is the bottom of the back right here. So as you breathe in, just imagine that that space is being filled with air. And for now, that's good enough. That's all I want you to do. Because when you're in the different positions and you're breathing to that place, the rest will come. If you'd like to learn more about the breath and have different breathing exercises, then you can watch one of my other videos. There's a link there. So the first position is going to be semi-supine, which is laying down flat with your knees in the air and your feet flat on the floor, like so. From here, I want you to take your hands and put them just below your navel. Just rest them, no pushing. And as I said before, try and breathe in and aim the air that you breathe down to here, to the base of your back, right down, right to your tailbone. I don't want your shoulders to be moving at all when you breathe. They should be nice and relaxed and still. And as you breathe, I want you to take in as much air as you can. So for this exercise, you're going to do 10 rounds, 10 breaths in, and 10 breaths out. Okay, for the next one, what we're going to do is put your left leg out straight, just relax, nice and relaxed, and take your right foot, tuck the toes just behind the knee, and then we're going to lean over to the left. You can put your right arm out beside you to stabilize you, and if you find that it doesn't come very far or it's a bit tight, you can take your left hand and put that on your right knee just to keep you leaning over to that side. You can keep your eyes focused on the ceiling, or for a little extra stretch, turn your head over towards your right hand. And again, in this position, you're going to be breathing into your sacrum as deep as you feel is comfortable. And after 10 breaths, we're going to switch over to the other side. So, put your right leg out, take the toes of your left foot behind your right knee, use your hand to guide your leg. In these positions, you're aiming to keep both shoulders on the ground. Now, here for example, my left one is slightly coming up. If that happens, you can raise your knee slightly, or as you're breathing, you will be encouraging the knee closer to the ground and the shoulder closer to the ground. And ideally, eventually what you want to happen is that your back, more and more and more of your back will end up touching the ground in this twist. So take really deep breaths here into the sacrum as we did on the other side. And again, you're looking for 10 breaths. And when you're done here, you can bring both knees up, back into semi-supine. And you can dip your knees both together, side to side. And roll onto your side, either way you want. Give yourself a couple of seconds before you move up. And on to our next exercise, which is alley cat, meerkat. This one's really good for manipulating, moving the spine and getting that warmed up. So we could start by breathing out, pushing your shins down into the floor and your hands, and bringing your belly button up in towards your spine. Breathe out and breathe in. And if you move your tailbone up first, let the spine, vertebra by vertebra, catch up all the way until it gets to your neck and your head. So essentially now you're pushing your belly out and you've got full breath. Then starting again with your tailbone, tuck it under and let every vertebra catch up until breathing in and out. You may find, as I am now, that as you breathe in and stretch the spine, you're also opening up the lungs, and that can release anything that's stuck there. Okay, so you're going to do 10 of these. That's 5 up and 5 down. The next one would be to keep your legs where they are. And by the way, with this exercise, you want to try and keep your arms directly underneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips. So I don't know if you can see at this angle, maybe I could do with adjusting myself slightly. Okay. And this next one, very similar, but we're going to go side to side. So try and find your neutral place of the spine. So not too low and not too high, but somewhere in the middle. And you want your bum and your head essentially to move one way and your ribs the other. From side to side. It's good to breathe out on your movement. Breathe in when you're stopped. And you can feel the space in the ribs, the intercostals opening up and stretching. When you fill them with air. And again, you're going to do 10 on each side there. Okay, so our next exercise, we're going to just stay where we are, but on our toes. So we keep on our knees, but we tuck our toes underneath, like this. So now essentially what we're doing, we're stretching the underneath of our foot. The feet get left out. Just imagine that all our weight is standing on them all day, every day, unless you're sitting down. So it's always good to give them some attention as part of a warm-up. This can be, for those that don't do it very regularly, quite painful. So you may want to take little breaks here and there, but do as much as is comfortable, and all the time maintaining your deep breathing. Okay, so when you've had enough of that one, we're going to get on our feet. Take your time getting up, because you may find that after all that deep breathing, the blood might rush to your head and you've just got from the floor. So take your time, slowly but surely. For this next one, we're going to keep our feet together. I don't know if you can see that. Feet are together. And your knees together. Take your hands. Don't lean on yourself, but just rest them above your knees here. And we're going to do small circular motions, never letting our feet go further over than the toes. So they are quite small motions. And you want to try and keep your tailbone tucked underneath. I'll show you from the side. So you don't want to be leaning on your knees. There should be no weight on them. It's just to help balance. So you would like to do 20 that side and then 20 the other way. And our next exercise is very similar. We're going to be making small movements. You want your feet hip width apart, hands on your hips, and slowly move your pelvis around in a circular motion, all the time remembering to breathe deep down into your sacrum. You don't want to over push this, just nice and easy. I'll show you again from the side. All very gentle movements. Okay, and then the other way. Try and keep your tailbone tucked under as well. You're not poking your bum out, but it's forward like this. And your knees should also be slightly, never locked straight, but slightly loose, slightly unlocked. Okay, so you're going to do 20 clockwise and 20 anti-clockwise. The last one in the standing series is going to be stretching up. So I'm going to move back so you can see me. You want to take your arms, put them in the air, and try and reach as high as you can. Then up on your tiptoes if possible. Imagine you're clinging onto a window ledge. Stretch up, and then let go. Bring your arms, elbows down, head down, and roll down your spine until you're hanging. And then when you get to the bottom and you're hanging, you can just relax the knees, relax the neck, relax the shoulders, arms, and breathe into your sacrum. Give it a couple of good deep breaths, and then breathe out, and on your next breath in, you're going to slowly roll up the spine, vertebra by vertebra, one at a time, keeping your tailbone tucked under, pushing into your feet until you get to the top and your head and neck are in alignment. Bring your arms up again for another stretch. Breathing in, stretching, and let go and roll back down again. And hang. You can hold onto your elbows here and have a little bit movement side to side. Remember to keep your head, neck nice and loose. We don't want any tension there. You can even let them go side to side. Feel floppy. Some of you might not be able to reach the floor. And again, on an in-breath, you're going to push your feet into the floor, your heels and your toes. Tuck your tailbone under. Slowly, one by one, stack the vertebra on top of the other. Keep your core engaged. Push up. So now we've got the body warm. We want to start warming up the resonators. That's the spaces in your body. and some of the articulators around the mouth. But what we're going to do here is come as low as you can to the ground with your legs open. Let's move back a bit. Okay, like a frog, essentially, just about to leap. So we're going to take the V sound and extend it on one breath. Breathing in. As you breathe in, try and fill up that space in your back, as I said before. It will give you a lot more air so you can go for a lot longer when you're making these sounds. So in the same position, the next sound is going to be the beginning of a Z pronunciation. So the next sound is Z. So and now we're just going to do an ordinary hum. So for this, just come back onto your heels. And as you're humming, I don't want you to force this, just nice and easy. Just let the air pass through your vocal folds, and whatever sound it makes is good enough. From a deep breath. Remember to keep your shoulders relaxed. If you feel any tension in your neck or around there, you can just move that. And try, like we did with the breath earlier, try to move the humming sound into any areas of tightness. Just imagine that that hum is being directed to that place. Keeping your tailbone tucked under. And then as you're humming, you can imagine that the hum moves up into your nose and nasal cavity and head. So from here, okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to make some sounds that start as low as you can from your belly, moving up into your head. So just listen to what I do and copy this. So, oh, oh, or on a hum. Can you do a little jump there? Oh, and it's also a good idea. You could do this to go from a oo to a e sound. So it's from ooh, so ooh, you, ooh, ooh. Try and feel the vibrations move from your belly up through your throat into your nose and into your head as you do this. If you try and track the area of vibration, you know you're on the right path to warming up and getting those resonators working. Okay, last but not least, we'll do some stuff for the mouth. This is a good one, motorbike. So we're going to keep the sirening up and down, but now adding the movement of the lips. If you find it difficult to have the lips so then tight enough, so they're not too flappy or not too tight, just take your fingers and put them on the soft part of your cheeks here. Okay, so that's a nice, easy, simple warm-up that you could do. I recommend you doing that daily. I'd suggest in the morning. If you could do it twice daily, even better. Do it once when you get up and once before you go to bed. It will promote relaxation throughout your body. It'll also promote the idea of using the resonators and gives you a little bit of an overall workout for certain muscles you may or may not have been using before. So subscribe below, check out my website also below, and I'll see you